Okay, so you may or may not remember last month's chaotic TBR video. Well, this is the aftermath of that video. This is our reading wrap-up for April. But first, we're going to start off with what was on each of our TBRs and how many we actually did. Morgan will keep a tally when she edits this video right here for her and right here for me out of how many were on it and how many you actually read. So you can see in the end how horrible you did.
It wasn't a horrible reading month. We just didn't follow it because honestly we were just saying...
It was too long. We were like, what were we on? Like, what were we doing?
And we were saying random stuff. Yeah. Like, we were just like saying books off the top of our heads that we would like to read eventually.
Yeah, we screwed ourselves. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna start off with me, and then we'll do Morgan's, and then we'll talk about like our entire TBR. So right now we're gonna rapid fire through what was on our TBR and what we read, but we'll talk about our ratings to you when we get to that part. Okay, so for me, my TBR consisted of Little Liar. I read it. Little Stranger. I read it. Last Dance. I read it, but I'd already read it when we filmed that video, and I did disclose that information. Brought the Bride. I read it. Flawless. I obviously read it. Toxic. I also read it. Willing Prey. I didn't read it. Akatar. I didn't read it.
I've been waiting for months for her to read that damn book.
Caught Up by Liz Tom Forte. I didn't read it. Caught Up by Nevessa Allen.
Yes.
I did read it.
She's starting to catch up, guys.
Finally. Bully by Penelope Douglas. I didn't read it. Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I didn't read it. My Dreadful Darling by H.G. Carlton. I read that.
Read it.
I read that.
Yeah.
Eldritch Manor. I didn't read it. And Rick and Rebel. I didn't read it. And those are mine. Morgan has tallied them up over here nicely for me. Morgan,
do you want to see my dumpster fire of a TBR?
Okay. Which is worse?
Yeah. Little Liar, I did read. Little Stranger, I did read. Brought for Bride, I'm currently in the middle of.
But it doesn't count, unfortunately, for her.
Flawless, I did not read, and I don't even want to read. Toxic, I did read. Willing Prey, I did unfortunately read that one. A Court of Mist and Fury, did not read that one. Diggermouth, again, did not read that. In Her Own League, bought it, did not read it. Counts, halfway there. Quiet Ones, it's been sitting in my Kindle for about 2 months, still have not read it. Bully, that's been on my shelf for a year, have not read it. My Dreadful Darling, of course I read that. The first Love and Hockey book by Amontiche, unfortunately I did not read it. Heated Rivalry, did not read it. Eldritch Manor I did read though. Deprived Devotion, did not read that one. Bad Little Bride, did not read that one, but I did read Love Song by Elle Kennedy.
And Morgan has nicely tallied up her tally over there for you. So I think we did the same, but her TBR was slightly longer, so I did better.
Percentage-wise.
If we're correct. Yeah. She'll have tallied them. She can say here who won. Okay, and then now we can discuss those and the books that we read that were not
on our
TBRs.
We can start with Little Liar, Little Stranger.
Yeah, so Little Liar and Little Stranger. Hold on, I'm just going to pull this up because Morgan has a history of not being able to remember things, including her own ratings.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that up for her real quick. Hold on, people. Here you are.
Thanks.
I don't need it.
Bless your soul.
Okay, so we'll start off with the ones that we both read this month. So we both read Little Liar and Little Stranger. As you know, if you listen to our podcast, these were both rereads. I rate them both a 5. I mean, I love them. Morgan, your rating is different.
Yeah, so Little Stranger is a 4.5 and Little Liar is a 4.75. Don't get me wrong, I love these books. It's just the repetitive part ones of the book.
That's what bugs you.
That sort of bugs me. It's the one POVs. And then in the second one, I loved getting his POVs, but it was just repetitive.
Yeah. We won't talk about too much what we think of those books because we did do an episode on it, but base is that we love Lee Rivers.
Yeah.
So we definitely love those books, but if you want to know like more of our thoughts, there's not really a reason for us to talk about them right now, right here, because we've already done that
in
quite a few times. So you can go and listen to those episodes if that is something you're interested in hearing.
Yeah.
And then another one that we both read was Toxic. Who's that by again? Nicole Blanchard.
Yeah.
So we both
That episode is coming out next week.
Yes, so we will give you like a little insight here
Yeah.
because this is coming out first, but we won't go into too much detail because once again we're covering it on the podcast. We both rated it a 4. I personally rated it a 4 because I really did enjoy this story, but sometimes it felt like a little bit rushed. I felt
agree.
like there wasn't enough time for certain things to take place. And honestly, it didn't feel rushed in the beginning either. Kind of like as it went on, it started to feel more and more rushed, almost like she was running out of time.
Just towards the end.
Yes.
It was like she had a max page count and had to fit
and
it all
didn't want to make it
in.
any longer. Honestly, if the book was like 100 to 200 pages longer than it is, it probably would have been a 5.
Yeah.
But it's a
The
4 just
concept's
because of
really
that.
cool. I really like both of the characters.
I mean, I gave it a 4 and it was really traumatizing for me.
Yeah.
Also, please don't read this book if you're like have abuse as one of your triggers, because it definitely is heavy into that. But if you're someone like me and you can like put up with it, if it's not the entire book, it does only last for a little more than a quarter of the book.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to, if like that's something that you're okay with, but you're not necessarily okay with being the whole thing, don't let the trigger warning list necessarily like
And don't
divert
worry,
you.
the abuser gets
his. He gets his.
Yeah.
It made me feel so much better. But yeah, we loved that book. It just was a little rushed. So first off, I read Hail, which is the first book in the Hale brothers duet, and that is by, oh my god,
Anastasia Light.
thank you. I read Hail, and then I rated that a 4-star. I mean, I typically feel, especially in contemporary, honestly 90% of the time I rate the first book a 4-star. It's very rare that I rated a 5-star, just because I feel like things typically feel rushed in them because you're getting so much information, and then like the storyline itself is going on, and also these are shorter books, so it definitely did feel like a little rushed in certain aspects. But other than that, like I really liked this book. I loved Hunter. You've read this book before, but it was like
I read it a while ago.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what
And I
read
really
about.
liked Piper. I loved Story is adorable. I just like, honestly, I'm obsessed. I absolutely loved it. And then the reason that I'm putting this in our we both read it category is because we both read the sequel, which is Haid.
Yeah. So-
I rated it a 5.
I forget.
You rated it a 4. I believe we just filmed our TikToks. That's the only reason I know that.
Yeah, so like she said, I read Hail before, so I was picking up Haid, and then I was like, okay, wow, like I love this man, and then like
I was like, hey, well, I want to read them, so I read both of them.
I really did like it. It was a 4.25.
Which for you in contemporary
Is
really
high.
good.
Yeah. I'm not a contemporary girly. I'm one of those, like, I won't pick up a new contemporary book unless it's by an author that I love that has written dark romance. Like if Gian Wright or Samantha Bee or even Lee Rivers
Yeah,
or
if they wrote
any
a
of them wrote a
contemporary, more likely.
contemporary, then yeah, I would read it. These were books and series and characters that I had met when I first started reading and did read a decent amount of contemporary. So like a lot of these are second gens, continuations, sort of things like that.
Yeah.
Now I just wouldn't pick up a contemporary.
Unless you already have like the insight to, or I'm forcing her.
Yeah. So that's why it's I really liked it. I like her writing. I really like the characters. The concept's really cool. I've never read a rockstar romance unless like Punk 57's close, but like
close.
this man has like Grammys.
But now he's like actually like it's more like the epilogue of Punk 57.
Exactly.
During the entirety of the book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 4.25 for
It's
contemporary is
pretty
pretty
good
good.
for you. I rated it a 5 because honestly I just really loved this story. The characters went through a lot. I feel like for me to rate a book of 5, typically it's because the author was able to pull like a lot of emotions out of me, and I definitely think that this book was very emotional.
Very emotional.
And
Especially compared to Hail.
yeah, and I would go from like crying to all of a sudden I'm laughing 2 seconds later. So I feel like that's just like a show of really good writing. And then obviously I loved Haid, and I loved oh my god, and Riley, and I loved Riley. So because
Story
of
in
those
this is
things,
also-
Story is also back in this. Obviously, Piper, Hunter, like getting to see like characters that you already love is always fun. But I really like their story, and honestly, it's nice like seeing like a story with like real things going on. Not everything is always butterflies and rainbows, and it's nice when those things are represented in a book, especially a contemporary book, because they're often represented in dark romance. They're not so often represented in contemporary, so it's really nice when it is.
In contemporary, like, their lives are normally, like, perfectly fine.
Which is not reality for most people. But so I just, like, obviously not everybody's life is sunshine and rainbows, so it's nice when it's represented in a contemporary, because not everybody likes dark romance, and that's completely fine. It's all up to perspective. Morgan's not necessarily the biggest fan of fantasy, so
as we will get into
saw that I roll. But it's just nice when it's represented in contemporary too. So that's why it gets a 5.
Can you unlock your phone again?
It's my birthday.
Sorry, I forgot that it was your birthday. I know what your birthday is.
It is not my birthday today, just so you all know. That was in February. Okay. And then and then we both read My Dreadful Darling by H.G. Carlton.
1,000,000,000,000,000 trillion stars forever.
I don't even know how many stars, like, whatever stars I'm allowed to give this, I give this.
Let me just get comfy for a second here.
10 trillion billion. Morgan filled the screen with stars in editing. Like,
what?
So good.
Okay. I think Barry's involved somehow. Barry knows
Something's not right. There's something suspicious
that
about
tracker.
him. Also, please skip ahead if you haven't read My Dreadful Darling yet, because we have so much to say about this book, and we don't want to spoil it for anybody. We will be covering it on the podcast. We won't be talking too many spoilers if you do want to keep listening and not skip ahead, but there will be things. So, just giving you guys that warning now. But, Barry's definitely involved somehow.
That tracker on her necklace is too weird.
It's weird. I mean, I get it, but at the same, like, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's weird how, okay, he's an FBI agent that deals with serial killers. He's dealt with more serial killers than just her father. So why has he clung on to her so hard? There are other children of serial killers that probably had maybe even a tougher time than she did. Why is he clinging to her so hard? It's kind of weird.
Who the fuck's in Colorado and taunting her?
Because it's clearly not. I mean, but that's the other thing. If Barry is involved, we don't know what he's lying about. So it could be the copycat there, and we just don't know because Barry is not being honest. So,
or Barry's not involved. Okay, let's take Barry out of the picture.
Or maybe the reason we think Barry is suspicious is mostly just because he's willing to use her as bait. And that's why he's stuck close to her. And it has nothing to do with him being evil. He's just sticking close so he can catch the killer, which, okay, cool. I would much prefer that to, like, other possibilities.
Yeah.
But let's say he's not involved. That means that it can't be the copycat and it's not her father.
Yes. So then someone's in Colorado, and it's not the copycat, and it's not her dad, and it's not fucking Roxy.
And whoever it is has now crossed the line into murder, which means that it's not just someone just screwing with her anymore. Yeah. Like, this is serious.
So, like, I don't think, and I hope to God it's not Dredd.
I don't think it could be Dredd because Dredd's already left for the airport when that body's in there, and that body is fresh. I think that, like,
and I don't, that it's not. And honestly, if it was Dredd, no one would forgive him.
No. So I don't think that's possible.
Don't think it's Severin, even though he was mysteriously missing.
But she was also with him for most of it. But he was missing for that period. But he said he was in a midterm that could easily be checked. So it's not, like, I don't think it's Severin.
I don't think it's Severin and Rogue.
Like the least likely. Rogue was away with Dredd.
I think he wants to be with Octavia too much to do something
like that.
Yeah.
So it could be, I mean, we don't know. I mean, I would be
heartbroken
if it's Olive. I hope it's someone we've never met because honestly,
I don't think it's Olive. I really don't.
I couldn't deal with it being anyone we know. Like, I would be so destroyed. If it was anyone we knew in Colorado, like, I would be heartbroken.
I know.
Like maybe it's a professor that's been mentioned once. Like, something like that. Like, maybe it's one of her professors, like her forensics professor or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, like, cool. But, like, something else is just kind of like, oh. It could very well maybe even be the dean, because I know she had some problems with him. But he's seemingly nice to everybody else. So it's kind of like maybe he's involved, or maybe he's just
maybe we just never met them.
Or maybe we never met them.
But I feel like that would suck if we never met them.
I mean, we might meet them at the very beginning of the next book and don't find out till the end, and you might form an attachment to them anyway.
A sneaking suspicion of mine is that her dad is either not the locksmith or it was multiple people involved.
See, this is the one thing that we kind of, well, not necessarily don't fully agree on, because I agree that I think there was someone else. involved for longer than just starting the copycat, because her dad doesn't seem like the kind of person that would just trust someone to all of a sudden start doing that unless he had worked with them before.
Yeah.
If her information that is in her head is correct, because obviously she was
Yeah.
pretty young. But I don't agree with your thing, which either of us could be right. I could be right. She could be right. We don't know. We always do this, and one of
I
us
feel
ends
like
up
if
being
he
right.
was as obsessive as he's sort of made out to be, he would have called her more than once.
But at the same time, he's also very smart.
Yeah.
If she doesn't want an attachment to him, he could risk her like blowing up and being
Yeah.
like, "Hey, fuck you! If you're gonna keep contacting me, I'm going to go
Yeah.
to someone with this information."
Yeah.
So it's like a catch-22. I think that he's the original locksmith. I don't know. I think things are too weird for it not to be him.
I think this shit with the copycat, someone else had to have been involved.
I think that someone had to have been involved, but not necessarily when she caught her father. Because when she found her father murdering someone, that was 2 years before he was actually arrested.
Yeah.
So it could have been someone who came into play when Dred's mom was taken.
Yeah.
But we, if Dred's information is right, which you don't want to call him a liar, okay? You want to be on
I'm
his
really
team.
nervous that he wasn't 100% right and he's going to feel really guilty.
I hope that he's right just because of that reason.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's like so many things in that sense where like, I mean, like, you can't be, it's just one of those books where it messes with you so much that even things that like are probably like really certain start not to feel like it, because you're just questioning everything, you're questioning everyone. So I don't know.
Like if Sable's involved, or like I'm gonna.
The only reason I don't feel like Sable or Octavia or something like that would be involved is because it feels like Severin and Rogue are getting books with them.
Yeah.
And, by the way,
If they don't get books, I will be so sad.
I was also like looking at the covers because like I miss it already so much, so I was like in depth looking, and I'm a little worried because on the cover of the first book, My Dreadful Darling, there are Polaroids and it has the names of 2 of the victims that are dead and the day they went missing. And on the second book there are 2 Polaroids and the names are Sable and Dred's names, and then Dred's is covered and you can't see a date next to his name, and then Sable's, it has a date. So I'm like kind of concerned.
Sable's?
It was in March. And we haven't reached spring yet. So it is a possibility that something could happen to Sable in the second book. I hope that if something does happen, it's kidnapping and she's not murdered. But I am really concerned that not everybody we love is going to make it out of this alive, because it is a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, just so many questions. But moving on from the questions aspect, the reason I love it so much is honestly, H. Carlton wrote it for one. She's amazing, especially when it comes to her dark romances. And also, at the beginning, I hated Dred, which you're supposed to. For a normal person, she never did. She's not normal. But like, as it goes on, you just like can't help but like forgive him and like
I loved how
him
much of an
like,
asshole he was.
Yes.
But
If
like
he was real, he
but
would
like
do that.
seriously, I genuinely thought he would live. Like he hated her so much, I genuinely thought he was gonna kill her. Still
No,
loved
there
him,
was moments where you like
but-
knew she was gonna live because
obviously.
that's the point.
Yeah.
But there was like moments where you're like, are we sure she's not screwing with us?
Yeah.
Like maybe there isn't a second book and she's just telling us that, because like it would feel like
Yeah.
she's gonna die like constantly. Like I actually thought he was gonna kill her. I thought maybe there was another girl named Reverie and that's what the second book was about, and like it's not really about her. Like I was just like, but no, he loves her. He loves her.
I know. I love him so much.
But it took us a really long time to get there.
He's like
Less time for
my
him than her.
perfect human.
Yeah. That's saying a lot about your personality. But it doesn't say much more about me that I haven't been able to stop thinking about him since I finished that book.
I loved him from his
better than
first
anything about
POV
Dred.
chapter.
No, I always loved him, but I would get more mad at him than you would.
Oh, I was never mad at him.
See, this is my point. My point. But anyway, yeah. So
I
moving-
feel like that would be fun. That's fun for me though. Like
I mean,
you prank me,
some of
I
it
prank
is-
you, like back and forth. Like that
Yes,
would be so
but
fun.
her pranks were so much less harmful. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be left outside in the snow.
Yeah, well, she just had to get him back harder. It's fine.
Anyway, but that's our thoughts on My Dreadful Darling. We're gonna cut it off for there because we are going to be doing that on the podcast, and we just basically did our entire podcast episode.
Yeah.
But moving on to books that's all the books that we both read this month. So I'll start off and then we're just gonna one off for the rest of them. I read Brought the Bride.
I'm in the middle of it,
by T.J.
but it's a
Maguire.
reread for me.
Yeah, by TJ McGuire. I rated this book a 4. Actually, no, I didn't. I rated it a 3.75. I don't know why I said 4. I rated it a 3.75. Honestly, I really like this book. I really like the characters. I like her writing. But it was the same problem I've had with a few of the other books. It was very rushed, it felt. When the book ended, they saw it and said, I love you to each other. And I know that, like, they're very much involved in the other books. But because it's, like, the ending of, like, their... like story in their heads, it feels like we should have had more closure in their relationship, I guess. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It just felt like they barely even knew each other when the book ended. So, like, you didn't really know, like...
You also have to think, too, it's an arranged marriage. They might not even say I love you for years.
Which is true. It was just very, like... And then also, but there were moments where it was, like, it felt like they were in love, and it also felt, like, very Insta... kind of lovey, even though it wasn't
it's
arranged
insta
marriage.
lust for sure.
It's definitely insta lust, which I can get behind. But
Yeah.
it was very, I don't know. I really did like it. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I really liked it. I just want to say that I necessarily like loved it. It's not one of my favorites. It is a book that like I would probably reread in the future. It's just not.
They also get better as they go. This is her first book.
Well,
first
that's
release,
also
too, like,
that's also the thing. Like I said earlier, when it comes to like the first in a series, it typically does feel a little rushed.
especially when it's an author's debut novel.
Exactly. It's pretty rare unless it's like a standalone that I give it above 4. So, or unless your name is Jan Wright or Samantha Bee
Or Lee Rivers.
or The Rivers. But other than that, it's pretty hard.
Chantal Tissier.
Well, no, even The Ritual. Going back and looking at it, like I think some of the other ones are better than The Ritual.
I agree. But The Ritual was still good.
Oh, it was so good, and so was this. It's not my favorite. I'll probably like a different one better. Although
for
Arturo,
sure.
I love you though.
I love both of them.
I love both of them. I love the characters. I love her writing. Like everything's great. It just was. It felt a little rushed to me, and that's the only reason that it gets the rating it gets.
Yeah.
Nothing like I still would recommend this book.
Yes.
Like I definitely recommend you read it. It's just not my favorite.
And then I read Love Song by Elle Kennedy. I really enjoyed this. I love Wyatt. I love seeing the dads. I don't know. It's just like nostalgia, I guess.
Yeah.
Wyatt Graham topped his father in my infinite book boyfriend list. I don't know where they lie, but he's above his dad. Rated a 4.5. That's really good for me for contemporary, but I think it's a nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
I think it's seeing them as dads. And just the fact that Garrett Graham and John Logan are going to be related, you know.
Yeah.
All the things. And, like, everyone's there. Like,
Yeah.
I have, like, all the parents are there. All the kids are there. Like, yeah. So.
That's fair. I also read Flawless this month. My first ever book by Elsie Silver. Dear Lord, I don't know what that was. I rated it a 4. It's the same thing. It's the first book in the series, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all before, but moving on from that point, I loved it. Oh, being in the country and the cowboys, and it was just so fun, and it's in Calgary, which I loved, and oh my gosh. Rhett, you are my man. Like, I love you. Rhett, oh, I love you so much, but she did ruin you for me at one point because she pointed. I literally was talking to her and I was describing what he looks like, and she's like, oh, he looks like one of our friends. I'm like, you little shit. Why you gotta do these things to me? Like, she has to read it too. But yeah, I really liked it. I'm excited to read the rest of them. I'm definitely invested in this series now. Morgan does have to read it. If you watched our TBR video last week, she has to read it.
Last week.
Oh, this is our wrap up. Next week in our TBR, you will see that Morgan will be
Unfortunately,
reading
you have to read it. It's like literally like, honestly, if you just gave him a tail, it'd be my worst nightmare. Completely my worst nightmare.
Because he has a cowboy hat?
Yeah, and he lives in Alberta, and he wears cowboy boots.
I've never even been to Alberta.
Yeah, and like,
if our friends wear cowboy boots or cowboy hats, she can't look at them like she wants to vomit.
gag.
But I'm making her read it because I think she'll like Powerless, and I think that she'll like Hope. Or is it Hopeless that you'll like? Yeah, Hopeless. I think you'd like Beau's book.
We'll see.
Cade's a single dad in nanny romance.
He's still a bull rider.
No, he's not. Red is.
Well, what's Cade?
Cade just works on their family farm.
Even worse.
But yeah, so really loved that. I'm excited for the next one. I just realized I didn't put it on my next month's TBR, but I'll probably try to read it. But your turn.
I'm just gonna rapid fire these three: Sweet Addiction, Sweet Surrender, and Sweet Oblivion by Bella Matthews. They are second gens of a massive universe that she has created, and I have read all of them, and it's just like one of those things you just continue to read to get the stories of the kids, and there's about 500 kids, so like you want to read them. Some of them are mafia books, some of them are MMA fighters, some of them a football player. It's like a whole like mishmash of people. I like them enough. 3.5, and 3.75. There's really nothing to say about them. They're good, they're cute, they're quick. Her writing's easy to read. Yeah, and a lot of these characters have backstories because they've known each other their whole lives, so you don't have to like, they don't need to know what's your favorite color.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
and then I read finally, well, actually in the process of this video, I'm still currently reading it, so I don't have a rating for you yet, but I'll be done it before the month is over. I finally read Caught Up, guys. Now you may be asking, which Caught Up did I read? I read Navessa Allen's Caught Up. I will eventually get to the other one. No, I did not read it this month. Sorry. I'm trying. I did one of them. Okay, progress. So far, I like it. I mean, I loved Lights Out. And I know that they're very different storylines. Me and Morgan have talked about that immensely on Bookish Breakdown. So I'm not going to get into it. But I like these characters. I like her style of writing. So I'm looking forward to finishing the book. And before Morgan edits this video, I'll have finished it so she can put my rating here to tell you guys what it is.
And then I read In the Dark by Chelsea Curto. She's the one that wrote the DC Star series, and I just recently found out through a blind date with a book that she writes dark romance. Now, would I classify this as dark romance? Not really, but it has to be because of the things that are in it. I quite liked it. It was super fun, super light for a dark romance. Like, everyone was sort of like really happy throughout the whole thing.
Shocking.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, like it's super light. But yeah, honestly, I just like really liked it, really enjoyed it. It was a fun time.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, it was a 4 for sure. I'd recommend it. Like, sort of gives like, okay, it's not as funny as Lights Out or The Sweet Oblivion, but it's like in that like light dark romance realm, you know?
Like,
same
it
sort of
can't
vibe.
be considered a contemporary, but it's
No.
not like the darkest of dark either.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I read, oh my god, I'm blanking on the last book I read. I'm pretty sure this is the last one that I have to say. No, I'm done. That was 10, right?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry people. Little Stranger, Little Liar, Flawless, Toxic, Hail, Hade, My Dreadful Darling, Prophet Bride. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, well, I'm not. I read Cruel Prince.
I hesitate.
Hated it. 2 star.
Hey, okay, we were talking about it while she was reading it. Now, she wants to seem like her dark and broody self when she talks to you people. Now, listen here, Linda. So when she was reading it,
Okay.
she said vibe-wise, it was like a 2, but if she was to actually rate like the writing and everything, it's a 4. Like, she does like the characters, she likes the story, like, she just can't deal with the fantasy portion.
yes, exactly.
So I thought we agreed we'd meet in the middle and your rating would be a 3.
Okay, but
Because you gotta, you know.
keep it. So I can't do the fantasy speak. I can't do the
She's
realms and the High Lord of this
It's only her
court and
second.
that court and all of the fucking courts. Why is there courts?
Because
This isn't fucking basketball. Get off the fucking court. Anyways.
not that kind of court.
Yeah, I understand, but like, I can't deal with the.
It's the
The
green skin and tails that can really get her, actually.
Yes, that too.
What about the bark boy? Anyway, she is fine.
I
okay?
don't mind the characters.
Yeah. I had already told her she actually despised these books. She could read something else. She's continuing.
Now I'm doing it out of spite.
She doesn't hate them that much. Would you recommend them to someone who likes fantasy?
No.
So you wouldn't even recommend them to someone who likes fantasy?
No, but I don't know what a good fantasy book is because I hate them all.
Okay. Yeah, it's YA, which also bugs her because it is
And
very
the
slow
slowest
burn.
burn ever. Anyways, I'm just gonna rapid fire through the rest of these. Willing Prey, cool premise, boring book, nothing happens, 2.5 stars. Eldritch Manor, see, this is a fantasy with a tale that I like. That's probably why he's very normal.
I
Loved
didn't
his
say
friend.
he's normal. I said it's paranormal.
No, like he's normal.
Oh, okay. Because it's paranormal.
Yeah, well, he's like as normal as you can be for a demon, which is basically a dark romance man, which
Exactly,
I love.
which is why I
Cool.
gave you some of
Loved it. 4 stars. There was one. This would have been a 5-star if it wasn't for one scene with the tail that horrified me.
I have
I'm gonna leave it at
photographic
that.
proof of her reading that scene.
And Midnight Message by Venus St. Graves. I know that came out on the 29th. I flew through that the last 2 days. It was so good. 4.5 stars. Dark, hockey, romance, but they both stalk each other. Loved it.
She's been telling me all about it, so now I have to wait to read it
So
because
good.
she told me so much I need to forget.
Yeah.
So, you
But-
know it's a good book when Morgan does that to me.
Yes.
Which is quite often. Anyway.
But yeah, that is it. That is our wrap up.
If you want to know
What
how
we
any other
tried.
thoughts or anything, let us know.
You want to know what we're gonna attempt to read next month? Next week,
that's
our
released.
hopefuls.
Okay, so that's
That's
the
it.
end of our reading wrap up. Hopefully we do better next month with following our TBRs. We did fine on the reading aspect. It was the following.